Shelby here from Superior Solutions. Okay, Superior Shelby. And today I want to talk about some really good saving tips, especially for us Black entrepreneurs out here and the trauma behind saving. So buckle up. All right, make sure you click the links down below so you can read my full article on this topic. And I feel like this topic is something that's definitely needed right now since we have so many new, entrepreneurs and specifically minority entrepreneurs. Okay, so make sure you guys like and share this video, okay? Some really good information, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, okay? So I wrote a whole article because I've been having clients come through and say, I've received the SBA EIDL, I've received the PPP, and, I'm interested in this ERC and I'm interested in this and I want grants and I want that. And the thing is that we need to learn how to manage what we have coming in, our income. And that's something that I feel like as minority entrepreneurs, we don't really know, okay? So I did some little research because I was asking myself, well, why we don't know how, like, what is the situation here? Why is it so challenging for us to save? Okay. So just to give y'all just a little history lesson, there used to be a bank back in the day. Back in the day, we talk about the 30s, like back then. And so this particular bank was like the first bank. It's called Freedman's Bank. If you know about it, you know about it. So Freedman's Bank was a bank for most minority or black folks, right, to be able to put their money in there. Well, what happened was when our great grandmas and granddaddies put their money inside of this bank, Freedman's Bank, if you catch it. Unfortunately, it was the country, all right, the Congress, the government, they saw how much money we were saving because we was original savers, okay? We was really good at saving, investing, and being innovators, right? Hence Black Wall Street. But at this time, the Freedmen's Bank saw, it's $66 million in here that these black folks done saved. So, poof, be gone, okay? Next thing you know, paperwork got burned down, all kind of stuff, and all of that money that all of our, ancestors, they saved at the time was gone. And that created a very big traumatic line for us because every time we tried to save, every time we tried to save and save and save, like, have you ever heard your grandma say, I'm gonna put it in my pocketbook? Okay. Have you ever heard your grandma or saw your grandfather put money under the mattress? Right? Have you ever, heard your grandparents or your great grandparents or great great grandparents say that they used to dig holes, right, in their yards and put money up? Well, that was all because of the traumatic experiences we went through, okay? As people, as black people, we weren't able to really save money because either the person who was over the land, okay, the landowner, all right, he would come by and just search through the houses while we're out doing work and steal our money that we're saving. So it became a very big traumatic experience for us, which is why the black dollar consistently leaves with it. I mean, it leaves quicker than no other dollar in this world. And just to let you guys know, if you didn't know this, the black dollar leaves our community within 6 hours versus the Latino and the Jewish community, I think they keep their dollars within 24 days, like almost a full month. But with the Hispanic community, at least they're 2 weeks, right? Before their dollar leaves their community. We've suffered such traumatic experiences through saving money and trying to elevate into scale that now we feel like we just have to spend the money as soon as it touches our hand, okay? So I'm here to tell you, you do not have to do that, all right? We living in the times of 2023 with all of this technology, we don't have to deal with federal banks. Now we have things like crypto, which don't quote me, I don't know too much about crypto, but we have digital money now. So there's different ways that we can say, and then you guys, there's a billion ways to make $1 billion now, right? Versus back then. So I want to share with you some of, the tips that I have, that I had to learn. And I know I do get the questions. Lately, I've been getting the question of, well, Shelby, how did you get into starting to look for grants? Good morning, everybody. How did you start, how did you get into this? How did you know about funding? How did you partner up with 178 banks? How did you do this? So you guys, being transparent here, I've been a business owner for almost 7 years, okay? I haven't really been back to the workforce or anything since within 5 years, okay? And um, I failed in my business, okay? I had a situation where I got business credit cards, maxed them. I used my personal credit, and as a personal guarantee, I did a lot of the wrong things. And, you know, it resulted in me having to dissolve my business, having to stop my business, and then boom, the pandemic hit, right? And when the pandemic hit, it hit all of us, okay? Especially me, all right? So I had to find an alternative, right? I had to find a way to try to save my business. So I started searching for grants, right? Or first off, I didn't even know about grants, but I started searching for like government funding, right? And then I came across the SBA. Before you know it, the SBA came out with the EIDL during the pandemic. And so I started searching a little bit more. Like, let's dive deeper into this SBA thing, right? What is SBA? What do they do? And then I saw that they offer something called grants. Decided to go dive deeper into grants. And honestly, you guys, with SBA grants, I don't have a problem with them, but I feel like they ask for too much of your personal information, and I feel like y'all judging, period. But besides that, I found out about grants through kind of the whole EIDL process, right? And so I decided to search and speak to a nice lady, all right, who's been working for the SBA at the time for over 10 years. And she explained to me how grants work. Now, that woman is on my team writing my grants for you guys, right? And as well as a nice black queen, all right, from the sam.gov, where I wanted to learn more about this UEI number since we don't have to have a DUNS number for grants, right? So my first grant that I ever got was $10,000. And when I saw that, I said, $10,000 for free? Like, and I kept questioning it, like, so I don't have to give it back. Wait, you ain't pull my credit? Wait, you ain't go in my bank account? You know, this is something new to me. And so when I kept doing it and kept doing it, I got 5,000 here, 2,000 here, 500, then 10,000. So then I started doing it for, you know, for my clients as a case study. At the time, I was still technically into credit repair. And next thing you know, I started actually getting my credit repair clients who own businesses some actual grant funding, okay, of at least 10K or more, right? And then I decided to offer it as a service to you all. Now, when we get this funding, it's very important for us to know exactly and to go by the actual plan. This is why I'm always throwing out there, have a business plan, right? The business plan really shows you exactly what you're supposed to do with the money. So if you guys get some funds right now and you're kind of in a financial hardship, well, you might want to ask for double of what your hardship situation is. And don't be afraid of that, you know? And that goes for business credit card opportunities, business loan opportunities, and also business grants. I know a lot of us are really into business grants, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, completely transparent. Grants can take you up to 90 days to get funded, right? Versus you going the business credit way, right? So if you have your business or your LLC for at least 6 months or more, right? You can actually apply for business credit cards that don't require your personal information. However, when we're talking about big bucks like 50K or better, you're gonna have to start, you know, giving out your business financials and your personal, use your personal information to get like a business loan, right? So that's why it's important to have good personal credit or decent personal credit, okay, 680 or above. But ultimately, when you do receive the funds that you get, it's really important to make sure you pay off your debts, all right? You gotta pay the debts off and then have more available to be able to do things like marketing, to do things like, you know, get inventory, possibly hire payroll, hire an accountant, things like that. So that way you can have all of your ducks in a row. Now, one of the things that I did, and I'll tell you my story, when I first got my EIDL, all right, it wasn't enough. All right, it wasn't enough. And my EIDL, if I could be completely transparent with you guys, if for some people it would have been enough, but it wasn't enough for what I was doing. And I did not really manage them funds right. All right, I didn't really manage them right. So I know now, okay? So when I received the PPP, which was after the EIDL, I knew exactly what to do with that money, right? I knew exactly what I needed to do to 10X. So what I did was I didn't really have a lot of debt, you guys. I had like probably $20,000 worth of debt, right? You know, business credit cards and stuff. So I paid the cards off. That had to go. Then I made sure I used at least like 12 to 15%. And I don't know why it was that number, but it was that number. At least like 15%, all right, for marketing. Because I need that money to come in, right? Whatever you get in funding, you got to put it towards marketing. Because if you do things like buy a boutique or something and make it all pretty and nice and this and that and this and that, what's the point when nobody knows, right? Nobody knows what's going on here. Nobody knows. So you have to invest a lot, honestly, nowadays in marketing. Now, be careful when you're doing that, okay? Because there's a lot of marketing firms out here that scamming. All right. There's a lot of marketing firms out here that your competition is using as well. So you got to be mindful. And it sucks because it feels like we have to pay a higher price to beat the competition. But hey, with business, you guys, if you don't know this by now, you got to pay to play. So I put 15% inside of marketing. Pretty much half of it went towards paying debts. The other 15% went towards that. And then the rest of the money literally went into, well, actually I had to put 20% up for the other 20% up for taxes, right? And then the rest of the money went towards like literally saving. The reason why is because it was a pandemic and I was so afraid that things would happen. You know what I mean? We don't know what could possibly happen. So I put that money up. Long story short, that money literally saved me all the way up until the beginning of this year, okay? So if you are in super mega debt right now and you are looking to get some type of funding, right, for your business, grants can take you a while, but it is worth it, okay? It is worth it because it's a situation where it's free money. It doesn't go by your personal credit, no paybacks, no personal information needed, none of that stuff. But it can take you up to 90 days to get funded, just letting you know. So if you have the time to wait and if you have the time to consistently apply, then do that. Do grants and make sure you have all of your ducks in a row, okay? Do grants. But if you don't have that time, if you've already been in business, right? You already got the ball rolling and you need money right now, business credit is your best friend. And business credit card stacking and business loans is your best friend too. Don't be afraid to get loans, you guys, because I think the fear of getting a loan is the idea of, I'm afraid that I'm not going to pay it back. You as a business owner will pay it back. Matter of fact, the business will pay its debts back because that's what it's supposed to do. So you have to make sure that whatever loan that you get, you know, this is why I coach you guys through this stuff because I know like it's a mindset thing. So I know we have to kind of change our mind a little bit. We gotta think bigger. But if you get $100,000 loan, at least, right? You need to make sure you follow the plan. Don't take this $100,000 and go to Tulum, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Jamaica. No, that's not what this money is for. Okay, use it for what it's for. See your business accelerate and grow, and then take that trip, okay? And then do those networking events, and then buy your booth and do all of that stuff. Some of us is really racing to the finish line when really there is no finish line in business, okay? This is longevity. Longevity is what brings wisdom, and that's what makes you an expert at what you do, okay? So, money saving tips, all right? Money saving tips, pretty much. Make sure you allocate the funds correctly. Also, payroll. Just want to let you guys know, because I pay myself. This is also another way that I use to save money or to see what's going on with my money. So I pay myself through my business, and I think I talked about this on Instagram. And pretty much 50% goes towards payroll, right? Because we got bills. And then you got 20% that's pretty much going into like savings. No, probably a piece of that goes towards taxes. And then 30% is the reinvestment, right? I reinvest in my business at least 30% of whatever my bi-weekly income would be, right? I go bi-weekly. Some people like to do monthly. Some people like to do weekly. I just do bi-weekly because that's something I'm used to. And so that 30% for whatever I made for those 2 weeks, I either put it back in marketing, I either invest in, doing, something new, right? Something new for my business. Either that's education, anything that's reinvested into my business, okay? You guys paying for my coachings, that's a reinvestment, right? Because we're coaching, this is education, this is something you need. So that's what I do, okay, when it comes down to me paying myself. And then also, you know, I use QuickBooks, you guys. So I use QuickBooks because it's just kind of easier to comprehend. Until I can really get an understanding of what Justo is, I will come back to you guys with a really good, like, you know, what do they call it? Like, I call them like Excel sheets, but you know, a good planning, I guess. Accounting books, right? I use QuickBooks because it's pretty simple, pretty easy. The only thing about QuickBooks is you have to be consistent, persistent, and do your due diligence in entering in everything. If you don't have the time to do that, then we might need to find an automations platform, right? Exactly. So let's see what questions you guys have for me, because we're gonna end this live early. Hey everybody. Will business credit cards be an option if you've only had your LLC for 2 months? No, absolutely not. So a lot of business credit cards want you to already be in business for at least for like about 6 months, okay? So you might have to wait a little bit. Now, the reason why is because, you know, you need to have like a business bank account. You got to show some longevity a little bit. There are some charge cards that you can get. A charge card is pretty much like you spend whatever you spend for this month, you got to pay it back in 30 days. Kind of like a net term account, right? Except for it's called a charge card. American Express is really good about this. Divvy. Divvy, that's DIVVY. And Divvy actually doesn't go by your personal credit, right? So it's the yellow card. It's really nice. And so just be mindful of that. If you need $50,000 right now to start, and you know you're not making 50K a month to pay that back, do not do that, because you're gonna go in debt. Do not go straight into debt, you guys, okay? Just don't do it. Make sure you're mindful of what your income is. And I don't think that's what we're thinking about here. What is your income? A lot of us actually start businesses and you guys are not receiving income. I think we need to change the table around, right? So let's, for example, if you are into selling products online, right? E-commerce, pre-sale, all right? Pre-sale and do a pre-sale event, you know, do like a Facebook Live, a YouTube Live, an Instagram Live with all of your current products that you have, and do a pre-sale. You'll be surprised how a lot of your celebrities and how a lot of your peers do this. You pre-sale, you just say, hey, I got these sunglasses, right? I got these sunglasses, I'm selling these glasses. They hot, okay? They're the hottest thing on the market. You might want to get you some sunglasses. You know, it's gonna do this, UV rays, all that good stuff, right? And then what you have is people can literally start sending you money on your lives now, right? To go ahead and do a pre-sale or pre-purchase, or they could just click your link and they can go ahead and start buying your product or pre-ordering your product before you even have a whole bunch of inventory, right? As long as you state that, hey, you know, it can take up to this many days to receive your product, as long as you're transparent in that way, and once they agree to the terms, now you have some funds, right? Now you were able to stack some money, so now you can go ahead and ask for, you know, $25,000, $30,000 or whatever the case may be, because you know exactly how to maneuver, right? Let's start getting pre-sales first before we start asking for like $50,000 to start, right? Let's make sure the business actually works first, okay? Let's see. Grand Rising, I created a business during COVID, registered and got my EIN, but never hired or opened. Now I'm going to do LLC, and can I get funding now to open and hire and take on clients? So like I was saying earlier, depending on what your business is, you kind of want to make sure it works first. You got to invest in your business. And the thing about this is I think that I've been going so viral, and a lot of us have been going viral about this whole grants. You can get startup this, startup that, startup that. But if you're not willing to go through that 6-week program, accelerated program of $100,000 or more, not going to be good for you, okay? But if you are willing to do those startup grant accelerator programs, which is like, you know, you have to do 6 weeks, you have to hop on Zoom, you got to be consistent, you have to continue to do interviews, you got to talk, you got to interact, and you have to do networking events and stuff like that. It's 6 full weeks, but they give you the $100,000 to start, then that might be for you, okay? But the first, if I was you, I would just do the first 6 weeks out first, and then I would take the funds and just start using it as I'm in the program, okay? because they offer one-on-one mentorships and coaching. But besides that, when we're talking about business credit cards and business loans, you got to have your own financials going, okay? Because they are not going to accept you if you are not at least 6 months, okay? Yeah, non-medical medical home care. Yeah, that's something that you are going to have to like invest in yourself, or you're going to have all of your ducks in a row for a government grant opportunity, right? Or a government contract opportunity. Either way, you got to have business plan. You might need a letter of intent, and you might need a pitch deck, okay? I talked about pitch decks too, and they're very useful, honestly. So I've been kind of like test running with them. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the pitch decks that I've been putting together have been really good, okay? I think that they have been serving in our favor a little bit more than, not a little bit more than, but in addition to having your business plan. Listen to me now, because I done came on here and said we need to have a business plan. Now everybody's getting a business plan. This is great. Now we need to make sure we follow the business plan. And now for all of us, okay, we might need to get a pitch deck. We got to beat our competition. So I'm actually writing pitch decks, okay? So it's really fun. I think it's really interesting how I'm putting them together. And they're working. They're working. You're welcome. Yes, I do consulting. So I do coaching, you guys. So I really love the coaching that I do, especially all of my mentees, okay, my cousins. That's what I call them, my cousins. We're all like family. And so we talk a lot about how to get started in your business, pretty much. We talk about, how to build business credit. But my business credit coaching is more than just business credit. We're actually strategizing together, right? We strategize together. You tell me, Shelby, this is what I want to do. And I was thinking this. What you think? I'll tell you. Yeah, or nay, right? I was thinking about filing for ERC. You probably don't want to do that if you didn't have W-2 employees, things like that. So we strategize together. It's a full coaching. Okay, it's really fun, and you really physically get to see your actual business credit score increase. You actually get to see the full platforms of Dun & Bradstreet. You get to see how nav.com helps out, and then you get to meet my funding partners, right? My funding partners are really cool, okay? I got some vice presidents of different banks around the country that would love to fund you guys, and I want to let y'all know I got a bank right now. I had a really good meeting, and he is like, listen, we are not denying nobody, because this particular bank, can't disclose the name, but this on YouTube, this particular bank has received the SSBCI funding, and they are in need of, they got to get rid of it, right? So if you guys want to hop on my coaching team, all right, hop in my family, all right, you could definitely text #business. I think I pinned it to 305-686-0781. Okay, text #business. My team, they'll send you a consultation link. We'll hop on the call, okay, really quick, and then we'll take it from there with the coaching. Okay, so I really enjoyed you guys this morning. All right, I just wanted to come on here and just talk about a little bit about, like, our mindset, how we can save money, the reasons for why. Okay, we don't save money and things like that. Oh, I got one more question. Hold up. I struggled a lot. I requested for financial assistance to revive again my business, which collapsed off after disease. Okay, so you're gonna need some help. So definitely text the number so that way we can talk more in details about what's going on. Doesn't matter if I'm not a Black entrepreneur. No, not at all. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All people welcome. It doesn't matter at all. But you guys, I have consultations I actually have to get to. I really enjoyed your time. Okay, make sure you guys subscribe. Actually, I have an article on this too, so I'm going to drop the article link. So make sure you follow me on Medium, because I dropped some really good information. Also, the Medium articles that I drop in the links down below in the description, they actually have the list of, these are like free grant lists. Okay, so if you need the grant writing list, the grant list, the list of grants that I'm always talking about, my Medium, which is my blog post or whatever, it has all of that, okay? And the hyperlinks, you can click and just go ahead and just apply for those opportunities I'm talking about. I am gonna come back on here, okay, this week, and we're gonna talk about some new grants, because I had to slow down on the grants because so many people came from the last opportunity, right? And also, don't forget about the $750,000 opportunity as well, okay? If you have a technical assistance business, that means you technically assist your clients, right? This is not for like restaurants, okay? So if you're feeding people, love you guys, love that you're feeding us, but that's not for you guys. If you are creating things, if you're an innovator, right? If you have created something that will work for everybody across America, like apps, right? If you are in the restaurant or food industry and you decide to create an app kind of like a Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, this $750,000, it may be for you, okay? So I am accepting only five more people to join my squad, I guess, the MBDA squad, so that way we can take on the $750,000 opportunity, okay? So only five more people I'm accepting, so that way we can all just like, make sure we have our ducks in a row to get this 750K, okay? You're having to dissolve your business. Yeah, you can use a grant, okay? You can use a grant. All right, guys, I love you guys so much. Peace and blessings, okay? Make sure you subscribe to my channel, share this, all right? So that way other Black entrepreneurs or minority entrepreneurs can know what's going on. And I hope that this live, really helped you guys out, okay? 50, 30, 20 rule. 50, 30, 20 rule. 50% goes to me, right? Payroll. 20% goes into savings or taxes. And 30% goes into reinvesting in your business, okay? 50, 30, 20 rule. That's something that I use, something that I love to use, okay? So text the number, okay? So that way we can talk more. Love you guys. Share this live. Peace.